Got it. It should be up in a second here. Great, we're on. Perfect. Hi, everyone, and good morning. I'm sorry for the little technicality this morning. We are live on. Sorry, I'm hearing myself twice. Again, I did this the other day. Okay, so we're gonna get through this before you guys know it. So this is only our third time we meet. Hi, I'm Giangie with Giangie's Kitchen, and I'm today here with Aslan. Good evening, Aslan.
Hey, Gianji, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you. So sorry about the little technology. Today, we are going to talk to you about Brussels sprouts because it is not just a Thanksgiving or a Christmas side dish, but is a whole year around side dish. Don't you agree, Aslan?
Yeah, I think so. Although I suppose you won't really typically find homegrown Brussels sprouts. Well, I suppose it depends on which part of the world you're in. In
Yes.
the UK, we won't really get it in the warmer months. Well, we do find it, but they're imported.
Yes, and here we have a lot of imported also as a lot from the south, so they're coming in and we do like them. Do you want to know something? A very little fun fact here. I have never enjoyed Brussels sprouts. Never actually ate Brussels sprouts when I lived in Europe. Never. My dad never made it. My mom never made it. My grandmother just didn't like them, so we never enjoyed them. So I found them and I fell in love with them, and now I just cannot. I make them every other time, and my family adores them. So why don't we start with your recipe? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you're going to prepare
Yeah,
today for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you, I didn't actually grow up eating Brussels sprouts because I grew up in Singapore, and we don't really do roasts out there. It's just not. Of course, there are families who do that, but for Christmas, Brussels sprouts is not really wasn't a typical vegetable when I was growing up. So my recipe today is one of my favorite ways to eat Brussels sprouts. I mean, give me a steamed or boiled Brussels sprout just like that, and I will eat it, until the
Good.
cows come home because I just love the things. But I do know that many people don't really like them. So, one of the ways to enjoy Brussels sprouts is to add something stronger, something spicy, not necessarily heat spicy, but with flavor in it. And so this is one of my favorite ways of making Brussels sprouts, not just for Christmas, with chorizo. I
Oh,
love
yummy.
chorizo. And I don't eat pork. So whatever chorizo I have is always beef based. I don't eat any pork and its derivatives. So my chorizos are beef. But according to friends of mine, you can't tell the difference. So here I've got fresh chorizo. So to make this recipe, super, super easy. All we do is we pre-cook our Brussels sprouts. Now, I've halved the Brussels sprouts.
Mhm.
And to me, halving your Brussels sprouts always allow them to cook evenly throughout, as opposed to the middle bit being a little bit crunchy. So I've done that while we were having the technical difficulty. I thought, right, better pre-cook those sprouts. So I did
Yes.
that. And now we've got the sprouts. All we're going to do is to fry the sprouts. We're going to slice them up, fry them up, let the fat be rendered. You have the fat in the frying pan, and then we'll dump the sprouts in on high heat. Char both the sprouts and the chorizo. Season with salt and pepper, and we're done.
That's it. That sounds fantastic. That sounds really fantastic. You know what I've learned? Because a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts because of the very strong, pungent scent of when they cook it. So I always put a little bit of lemon with it. And it's like
Yeah,
with cauliflower, the lemon absorbs all the smell of it and you can enjoy it.
yeah.
Well, my recipe is as simple as yours. It's a see, it's a balsamic roasted Brussels sprouts with a with bacon. Unfortunately, in my family, we eat a lot of bacon. So all the bacon that you don't have, I enjoy over here. So what it is the same thing as Aslan. I have cut my Brussels sprouts in half. I'll mix in them with bacon, lots of garlic, a little. There's actually 4 huge cloves of garlic chopped, salt and pepper, olive oil. I put it in the oven, roast it for 20 minutes, and then when I bring it out, I put the balsamic glaze than I have made prior to it. Now, I have made this a week ago, and I make a lot of balsamic glaze because it's very simple to have, and you can mix it with any vegetable. So it's not just up to this. I put a little bit on top of some mushrooms, some Brussels sprouts, of course, some green beans, you name it. So when you make it, the recipe has for a cup of good quality balsamic vinegar. Do not break the bank by buying a very expensive one. There is middle of the road, then you can purchase, and they're quite fine. And a quarter of a cup of sugar. You just put it together on a small pot. You bring over medium heat. You bring them to a boil. Once it bubbles, you just let it bubble gently until it becomes a syrup. Put it away, and then it's done. Put it on the refrigerator before serving and bringing it out. It's like a very syrupy papoy.
Sounds amazing.
Delicious. So, yes.
The one time I brought my phone in and it rings on when we're live. Come on.
Oh, I have told everyone, you can't walk in the kitchen. You take the dog away. I turn my phone off. Everything is off. And now pretty soon you're going to see my son walking down the hallway because he's just waking up. So let's start. You're going to start with yours. You're going to saute your.
Yeah, I'll start. Actually, I'm going to slice my chorizo. So you start, Giangi.
Okay, perfect. Then what I did, I just took the recipe asked for 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts. So I took him, I cut him in half, as you can see. I sliced the bottom part off, sliced them in half, and then just put them all together like this. And I'm putting it into a cookie sheet. I mean, this is really hard work today that I'm doing. I'm gonna put with them the bacon, which I love bacon. And my son, this is actually my son's favorite recipe. So he's very excited today that we're having this for lunch. Putting all the garlic all around it, right? Okay, mixing it all a little bit up. On olive oil, nicely rich cover. It actually requires a cup of good olive oil. So it have to be nice and crisp up. Now, I did preheat my oven at 400, which I think is 200 Celsius.
Yeah.
Very, very strong, very hot, because what you want to do, you want to put them in, roast them very hard at halfway through the cooking, which takes around 20 minutes. You want to turn them or they will burn, but you just kind of pay attention a little bit to it. Okay, I'll split this, put pepper, lots of salt, because I love the caramelization of the salt over it. Although there is bacon, I understand, but it's just, they need a little bit of extra, I think. That's just personal choice. There, and that's it. Literally. There we go. I just put them up, put it down. It doesn't matter, face down or face up is of no consequence. Make sure that the bacon is nicely placed into your little skillet, or actually the little cookie sheet that I have here. So it will give it a nice flavor every direction you are. And this, my dears, it's over. So now this will go into an oven at 400 for 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven and depending if you're on a higher altitude or not. And turn it once, and within 10 minutes of cooking, and that's it. This is done to get ready to go in the oven. So
excellent.
In goes.
Okay, then eyes over here. So I've got the stove on, I've got the frying pan on. Chorizo's cut into about sort of, I don't know, half an inch thinner. They don't have to be thick nor thin, whatever size you like. So we're just going to fry the chorizo on fairly high heat. Now, chorizo is an incredible sausage, really. I mean, it's my favorite sausage, so, you know, I'm kind of biased, but it's got so much going on, flavor, heat, smokiness, and I think it lends so much to whatever dish you add it to. And color as well, because you get the red from the paprika just oozing out, as you can see.
Oh, wow.
Well, my frying pan is white, so you can see all those red bits here. Let me try and show you. There you go.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the red oil. So here we are. So we're just going to fry that. Now, I like to use fresh chorizo for this. I make fresh chorizo at home for myself and freeze them. And I haven't quite got the guts to actually cure chorizo on myself in case I poison myself or anybody else who's eating them. So when it comes to cured chorizo, I buy them. So if
Okay.
you've got cured chorizo, we're going to do this. We're going to render the fat, and then we're going to take the cured chorizo slices out, and then we're going to dump the Brussels sprouts in because cured chorizo are edible as they are. They will get more chewier if you cook them for too long. So we will take the cured chorizo out. But these are fresh. So
Oh,
they're in
fresh
there.
one.
Now we're going to just add our pre-cooked, pre-boiled Brussels sprouts. The only thing I did with the Brussels sprouts in pre-cooking them was to dump them in boiling water. I cook them for 2 minutes. That's it. I
That's it.
drain them, rinse them in cold water, and that's all. So
You
they're
can
not overcooked. They've still got a bit of crunch. And for now, all we're going to do is to mix our Brussels sprouts and our chorizo, cook them on high heat because the beauty, one of the beauties of this dish is that your chorizo and your Brussels sprouts will have crispy, burnt bits to it, and that's
Ooh, yummy.
that's what makes the dish even lovelier. And then a little bit of salt, not too much, because your chorizo has got a full-on flavor, and black pepper because black pepper makes everything better. So
Absolutely.
a little bit of black pepper. So that's it. We're just literally going to char this on high heat.
Perfect. And while you're charring, why don't I take my second set that I prepared earlier out and I can plate it because you're almost done, right?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, perfect. Then let me bring my babies out, which I prepared earlier today. And as you can see, they're a little bit charred, a little bit cooked. So I am going to put them on a plate right here. Skip them out. Put them on my plate, and I'm going to, now this is a two-step thing that I'm doing for the simple fat because I like to mix it. Actually, let me take it like this and pour it. Perfect. Everything is out.
That looks good.
Oh, it is so yummy. And then literally, balsamic glaze, here you come. Now, it just kind of goes, it's thick. But once you mix them with the warm Brussels sprouts, it melts. And there you have it, folks. This is it. I'll just put them all together. Now, I made this for Thanksgiving, right? And there was a race for seconds at the table, but it wasn't for the turkey. It was for the Brussels sprouts. And it was just amazing. Everybody loves this. And this is it. You just pour it on a nice little plate. Okay. That's it. Serve it. Oops. And that's it. Ooh, look at this.
I think I'm going to have to make that. I've got lots of beef bacon in the freezer.
Well, you can make it. Well, of course, I make it with bacon. However, there is all sorts of vegetarian or vegan.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can use to it. So
my kids are vegetarian, so I've got to convert or adapt lots of recipes for them, and then I just dump some meat in mine.
yeah.
So I'm done as well, as you can see.
Perfect. Oh, that looks beautiful.
You can see charred bits to it. So that's it. We're done. So how much chorizo you use? In the ratios of chorizo, the ratio of chorizo to Brussels sprouts is a matter of preference. If you just want a little bit of chorizo for just that little bit of umami hit, you can. Or if you want it to be an equal portion, that's completely up to you as well. So then we just finish it off with
a little
Some,
squeeze of lemon.
absolutely. Lemon juice. That's it. We're all
That's
done.
it. So here you have in 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, 2 beautiful recipes. Okay, mine took a little bit longer because it was in the oven, but as soon as you cook it in the oven, 20 minutes, you bring it out and it's done. Aslan, do you have any suggestion on anything else, how you can use this recipe with the chorizo as a base with other vegetables?
Yeah, you know the chorizo goes with so many things. I've got quite a few chorizo recipes on my blog on linsfood.com. But this exact same recipe at Easter, I don't serve Brussels sprouts. I tend to serve either asparagus or green beans. It really does depend on when Easter falls. And if we've got fresh British asparagus, I'm pretty particular about cooking with the seasons. So if we've got British asparagus, at the stores, then that's what I'd be doing. Exactly the same recipe, but with asparagus. Otherwise, it'll be green beans. Green beans are so good with chorizo. They really are.
Green beans are,
and they're good with bacon too, aren't they?
Yes,
so
absolutely. I mean, I make green beans in so many different. We can probably have 10 different videos on how to make green beans, because I think it's one of those vegetables who just emulates himself to every flavors out there. So that's wonderful to know, because it's sometimes Brussels sprouts, like we say we love them, but some people don't. So it's great to know that we can do it in that direction.
And so can yours be adapted to with any other vegetables?
Yes, absolutely. You can do it with green beans, of course, as well. Asparagus, cauliflower. What else I did it the other day with another vegetables, like mushrooms. I actually took this recipe and did it with mushrooms. It was just really good. You just change a little bit of cooking time, of course, because the mushroom roasts a little faster. Or you can even do it on the stove too with the mushrooms, because it just goes really fast. Just remember, when you do mushroom, never to salt them, or all the liquid comes out and then it becomes very soggy. So this is something that you just have to keep in mind. But yes, it's an extremely versatile dish as well. So unfortunately, my family doesn't allow me to make it in any other direction, because they absolutely
well, that's a good thing. That means it's popular. That's a good thing. Cool.
Very good thing. So we want to thank you very much, Aslan and I, for being here. Next week, Aslan will be hosting it on her YouTube channel. So I will put that channel down underneath the comments, underneath this video, as well as Aslan's and my recipe and her YouTube account. You got to check it out. She's got fabulous recipes. So it will be kind of fun to play with it. But next week, same thing, 11 o'clock. We haven't quite decided what we're going to do.
So we haven't, look, we're cooking today. This is a live show and we haven't spoken since last week, have we?
We haven't. We really are just doing it live. So
on the go.
So either we're going to make a drink for you guys, which will be fabulous, because I know she makes good drinks, and I have a drink that I'm working on it, which it's a martini, a lychee martini. Then it's just, or we'll go dessert. So we're gonna be wild or sweet. We don't know yet, right?
No, we're sweet by nature anyway, so that's all right.
Absolutely. Even my martinis are very sweet. So, guys, thank you so very much for joining us today. We so appreciate it, and see you next week. Right, Aslan?
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.